Hey everybody, how you doing today? Tamar Salas here, coming to you on this fresh new year. What's up? What's going on? I hope that your new year has slowly starting to pick up. I hope that you've had a good rest and that you've, I guess, overcome the overwhelm of what a new year means to a lot of people. And today what I want to share with you is a message about exactly this. So the overwhelming feelings of the pressure of I want to change my life, I want to do something new, I want to do something different this year. I want to make it. Let's stop right there. All right, because in order for you to do this, all of these things that we want to do, we actually have to dedicate some time, some mindful time on assessing what worked last year for you, what didn't work for you, what qualities did you develop last year on top of your already good qualities, what skills can you bring into this new year that will help you achieve that which you truly desire. So it's some work to be done. It's a lot of people come to the new year feeling overwhelmed and feeling the pressure, but unprepared, completely unprepared. So today in this session, what I want to do with you in just a couple of minutes, help to prepare you for what you'd want to make of this year and exactly how to do it. So first of all, we'll look at all the 5 areas of life. So we'll look at health, which is one of the most important areas of life. Without it, we cannot create any wealth. We cannot create any good relationships either. Our spirituality begins to decline as a result of us not having, good top-notch health. And our aptitudes, our mental and physical aptitudes, we cannot develop any of these if our health is not 100%. So in terms of health, you want to look at your whole year. What is it that you did last year? Or what is it that you didn't do last year? What are the things that you did last year for your health that worked? And what are the things that you didn't do that obviously didn't work? Okay, when it comes to health, you want to have a discipline. You want to have a regimen. You want to be, renewing and refreshing every month, your health status, how it is. A lot of us forget how to do this one most important part of our lives, and that is to take care of our health, and that is simple by taking care of the foods that you eat, taking care of your exercise, and just taking care of your hydration. How are you being hydrated? Also your stress levels at work. So important to look at when we're looking at the area of health is stress levels. What worked last year for you in times of stress and what didn't work? What do you really want in this area of life for yourself in this 2022? What do you really want going forward? If you're watching this in another year sometime, maybe 10 years ahead from now, what is it that you truly want? This is really what it comes down to. And to make changes, we don't really have to do it or get into, jump into that cycle of pressure, that collective cycle of pressure. But at any time of the year, whether it's your birthday, an anniversary, or you want to really mark a significant event in your life, you can create changes at any time. That is something that we all must know. And so I hope that'll take the pressure off your shoulders, that weight off a little bit of, it's almost January 22nd, 23rd, 25th, whatever it is, whenever you're watching this, and I haven't made any changes. Well, this is the opportunity to do it. So the way that I've created for myself over the years, as some of you already know, if you don't know my story, I suffer from depression, clinical depression. I did the pills and all of those things, worked out. It turns out that it didn't work out for me. So what I did was I completely cleared off everything that I was doing that wasn't working for me, created a new modality, a new way of living, a new way of thinking. And fast forward to today, I'm teaching people how to do this and how to clear depression in just 4 weeks, drug-free. The most beautiful thing about it is that, people come to me obviously already on pills, already having seen the doctors, the psychiatrists, psychologists, And in just a very short period of time, they get the clear from the doctors, they get the clear from the psychologists, they get the clear from the psychiatrists. So that is, one of the things that I can be very proud of, but also something that really humbles me to be able to share, this gift that I received. So, and all of it happened because I wanted to change my life. I noticed that things that I was doing were not working and in my lifestyle. So everything in life that you want to head to has to do with your lifestyle. What are your habits? What are those health habits? We're talking about health. What are your health habits? What are your unhealthy habits? you need to know. So if your unhealthy habits are getting in the way of your health concerns or getting in the way of your health goals, let's take a look at those. And we have to be very frank. The dedication of time that you must bring into wanting to shift your lifestyle, is real. You got to make it real for yourself. So this is the idea, and it's that simple, but it's also a commitment. It is a commitment that you have to make for yourself. You have to make it for yourself because you have to also consider that there are people in your life that love you, that respect you, and that want to see you well, right? So if there's a weight loss goal that you want to achieve this year, let's assess what are the habits that are preventing you from not being able to achieve this weight loss goal that you have, reaching your ideal weight. Because I'm guessing if it's a weight loss goal that you want, and I'm guessing this is not the first year that you want to achieve this. So there would be habits in there that are preventing you, deep-rooted habits in there that are preventing you from moving forward and actually making a lasting change, a lasting impression on yourself so that you can continue to maintain this lifestyle moving forward. First of all is understanding what the root cause of the problem is. What are those habits that are preventing you? What do you spend your time doing? A lot of people say with weight loss, I don't have any time. You do have the time. The thing is, you don't have a clear picture of where you're spending your time. So for this, we need to do an audit. This is the thing. For this, we need to do an audit, and we need to see exactly where you're spending your energy, how you are spending your energy, mentally, physically, emotionally, even spiritually. What's happening in your 24 hours that you feel you don't have enough time to dedicate to yourself for your health goals. This is important, and these are the things obviously that we talk about when you and I have a one-on-one and set out 30-day plans to follow and that hold you accountable to your actions so that you can actually make progress, so you can actually transform and make change. But today what we're looking at these 5 areas, how to create those changes, what happens when we create those changes, how do we maintain those changes. It's very important to understand, to ask yourself these questions. So when it comes to personal development and life coaching, let this video serve you as a coaching guide, to your needs. You want to achieve weight loss, you want to achieve, your ideal weight, you want to achieve better relationships in your life this year. Area of life number 2, one of the most important areas of our life, if not the most important one after health, is relationships. So what's happening in your relationships? Are you getting along with the people that you love? Are these people actually in the way? Are they preventing you from achieving happiness, true happiness? And if they are, what's the reason? What's the reason you keep clashing? Is there something, maybe an attitude that you need to change? Is it a lack of appreciation on your side, maybe? A lack of appreciation on their side? And from my experience, knowing, how relationships work is appreciation has to come from both sides. It takes 2 to tango, right? And if at a minute we don't appreciate this other person, I can guarantee you that this other person will feel that, and it's going to begin to create some friction, and because they don't feel appreciated, and then you don't feel appreciated either, and you don't appreciate them, they don't feel appreciated, there is just no appreciation. And what happens is creates friction, creates separation. When we create separation, what happens is we have chaos in a relationship. And this happens at work, happens in the household, happens with siblings, it happens with, extended family. So even it happens on the road. We don't appreciate, we're having a bad moment, we don't appreciate anything, next thing you know, somebody screams, on the back of your car, or, you can have somebody, just wanting to take over, just to abuse you, because everything is energy. So we have to understand that the energy that we give out is also the energy that we're going to reflect back onto us and receive. So if we want to receive good energy, if we want to put good energy out there into the world, well, we have to first of all look at our attitude, look at our behavior, look at our ways of behaving in the household, behaving with ourselves and with those that we love. So if we want to fix relationships, if we want to improve relationships, we have to start with appreciation. Appreciation that, if you're having a separation with someone, that maybe that's what needs to be done, or maybe in order to appreciate that person even more, just to have a look at their challenges, what they're going through, put ourselves in their shoes for a little bit. So it's easier said than done, but these questions have to be asked, and these questions have to be answered also, by ourselves. So we have to have those deep and meaningful questions and conversations with ourselves, and obviously with a coach, so that you can solve these problems faster. Area number 3 of life is finance, a very, very, very important area of your life. Finance, business, money. What's happening in these areas? What's happening in this area of your life? Do you want to make more money this year? Do you want to make less? I don't think so. But, do you want to have a better balance? Do you want to budget a little bit better? What's happening with your wealth? Do you want to create more wealth? Do you want to start building things? You want to start, creating a different, better future perhaps for yourself? Maybe you want to shift your whole life around career and business or family. What's happening in this area? Do you want to earn more money? Why aren't you earning any more money? Do you, so let's just say hypothetically you're making 100 grand a year, 50 grand a year. What would 100 do? Big question. What would 100 do? What would 120 do? What would 300,000 do? What would a million do? If you're making $1 million a year, some of my clients are making $2 million, what would $10 million look like? What would $30 million look like? What would that feel like? What would that do for you, your family, your business? How would you expand your business if your business was going from 10 to 30 million? What would that do? If your business is going from 1.2 billion to 5 billion, how would you handle that? Can you handle it? Do you want it? Would you want that for your life? Questions to be answered, questions to be asked, questions that develop you, questions that awaken your desire for more, for less, for stability perhaps. These are the things that are important in life. You only get one chance at life to ask these questions. Some of us spend, 12 months of the year not thinking about really what we truly want. This is the year. Whenever you're watching this is the time to think about what is it that you truly want in finance, in business. What sort of impact do you want to do? What kind of impact do you want to first of all have with yourself and your family, and your business, your career, the world? Questions that we need to ask so we can bring good solutions to these questions. And for some of us, problems. But the bigger the problem, sometimes the better. The busier you are, the better. You're creating, you're igniting, you're awakening your creative self. And this is when we can get to be the owners of our own destiny. With that, the fourth area of life is spirituality. So what's happening in your spiritual world? I want to know what's happening in your spiritual world. Are you eating all of these beautiful things in your life? It's part of being a spiritual being. Part of being a spiritual being is you take care of the colors, right? The colors that go into your body. This is very important, right? So that's not just here for looks. This is here because there is a purpose for the foods that we eat, the fruits that we eat. I bet you didn't know that cucumber was a fruit. So maybe you did, but that's just... So spirituality, what's happening in your world? Spirituality takes over all of the areas. Every single area of your life takes care of every other area. Your health takes care of business and finance, relationships. Your health takes care of spirituality. Your health takes care of physical and mental aptitudes, how we develop ourselves, how we develop new skills, so on and so forth. So every area takes care of another area. If the area of spirituality is down, is lacking in the scale, then guess what? Relationships begin to suffer. Business begins to suffer. Your health also begins to suffer. So why do we keep on treading the treadmill every year without actually having a look at these areas of our life and taking control, just dominating every single area of your life? How would that feel to you? Would you feel like you're now in control? So when we come to depression, when we come to, a roadblock in our lives, is, hey, we need to take one step back and just have a look at all of the areas of our life. Health, relationships, business and finance, spirituality, and your mental and physical aptitudes. What's going on? What area you're not paying attention to? Take a step back. Every time you hit a wall, every time you hit a halt, you need to take a step back, observe what's happening. How can I take control? How can I dominate every single area of my life? So this is important. And spirituality is one of those areas where, it's not an airy-fairy thing. It's very much part of who we are. We are spiritual beings. First of all, without the spirit, what do you have? You have nothing, right? You're dead. So once the breath goes away, what happens is there's no one there, right? So understand that this is an important area. If not one of the most important, is the most important area of life. So anxiety, depression, fear, overwhelm, addiction, what's happening in your area of spirituality? How are you taking a look at your life? How are you observing your life? How are you creating balance in your life? What's happening in this area of your life? Are you appreciating? Are you waking up in the morning with gratitude? Are you going to sleep at night with immense gratitude for the day and the energy that you were able to put out there and receive? What's happening with you in this area? So it's important, Are you making a gratitude list every day? This is one of the most important areas because it fulfills us, it fills our cup, right? Are you turning off the television? Are you reading more? Are you educating yourself in other areas of life? This is also part of spirituality. Yeah, so constantly be evolving, constantly learning, constantly changing your life, constantly upgrading yourself. This is part of being a spiritual being. Dominating every single area of life, and doing it with happiness, doing it with gratitude, doing it with, an awakening desire every day to become the best version of you. So this is an area that, we need to look into. We need to learn how to develop this area. How do we develop it? Well, we need to ask, we need to audit all of the other areas of life and take a look at, what's happening. Where am I lacking energy? Where am I confronting roadblocks in my life? Who are my blockages? Who are the people that are toxic and negative in my life that maybe I need to say goodbye to? Maybe I need to grow stronger as a person. Maybe I need to have more courage to confront these people in my life. Maybe I need to have more courage so that I can build my confidence levels. Maybe I need to take more action. Yeah, when I have fear, I need to be, more, I need to push. I need to actually overcome my fears. That makes sense. So, a lot to think about. Start making this list. It'll help you activate every single part of your life so that you can achieve those goals. Obviously, once we do a full audit, complete audit of all the 5 areas of your life, then and only then you are able to see exactly energetically for yourself what goals you need to go for. You don't want to go into this blindly, not knowing, what are all the key areas of your life. Where are you lacking energy? Where do you need to put less energy into or more energy into it? So into an area. So some things to think about. Last area of life is physical and mental aptitudes. What are some of the skills that you could be upskilling on? What are some of the skills maybe that are stagnant, that have expiry date, that have expired in your life and you still continue to use them, but they serve no purpose at all in your life? Maybe you keep going back to the past and it's done, it's over, it's expired. You don't need to go there anymore. You need to gain new skills, move forward, look to the future. Maybe this area of your life, it's in the past. Maybe this is the perfect time to look for a new education. Re-educate yourself on something that you truly want. In a part of an area of your life or your skills and aptitudes that you always wanted to develop and you never had a chance to do it. This is the chance. So this is important. It's important that we look at these areas. It's important that we look at this one area that is, according to my experience, in my life, in my experience, and according to all of the wisdom that I've studied over the years, is when we don't develop skills that are part of our soul, and because we believe we don't have a chance to do it, we get depressed. We begin to want less from life. And when we get to that stage, my friends, I want to tell you, in life, as long as you're still alive, your desire still has to continue. You need to continue to grow your desire, because otherwise you begin to die very slowly. And if you're dying for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, I've met people that have been in a toxic cycle for 30 years in their career, never got out of it because they didn't see that they could, and came to me and it's like, well, I'm stuck. Well, what is it that you really love? Maybe you love dancing. And they went, wow, the eyes sparked. I love dancing. Well, take it up again. Do it. If you haven't done it in 30 years and it's a passion of yours and you really want to do it, take it up again. What's the fear? This person changed their life because they went back to dancing, So your life can change. Even if you've been stagnant for 40 years, 30 years, doing the same job, routine, day out, day in, day out, you can change. And how do you change? You need to ask these questions. You have to sit down with yourself and ask these questions. Write a list of all of the areas in your life. What is it that you truly want? What do you want for health? What do you want for relationships? What do you want for finance? What do you want in spirituality? How do you want to develop these areas? And lastly, your physical and mental aptitudes. What's something physical that you can begin to do this year that'll completely turn everything around for you? Maybe you want to do some weights. Maybe you want to take up the bar. Maybe if you can't do any of those things, take up swimming, take up walking. Do something that will help you to develop your physical body, to strengthen your physical body in a completely new and different way. Mentally, what would you like to learn? Maybe you want to learn some art and history. Maybe you want to learn some literature. Maybe you want to learn mathematics. Maybe you want to, stimulate your brain in different ways. What is it that you would like to do? And why aren't you doing it? This is the chance to begin to do it. So I hope this video has helped you to clear a little bit of the overwhelm and taken off that weight off your shoulders. It's whatever week of the year you're watching this, you know, you need to get rid of all the guilt. And getting rid of the guilt is, we need to talk about, frankly and openly, talk about your life. What do you truly want? And then from there, begin to assess all of the areas of your life, making a list, my friend, and making a list of everything that we've outlined today. What is it that you want? How is it that you want it? And lastly, how is it that you're going to get there? And the best way to start, the best place to start, is to start right now. So I hope that this video serves as an invitation to you to take this opportunity to begin to create change and transformation in your life. I'm going to leave this video open for you. If you want to reach out to me and contact me, and so that we can get working together on a 30-day plan with full accountability, where I'll give you the steps and I will guide you step, every single step of the way over 30 days, so that you can create change and transformation in your world the way you want it. I'll see you soon, my friends. Thank you so much for everything. I look forward to hearing from you, your transformations, what's changing in your life, even if we don't get together for a 30-day personal transformation coaching, but I'll still like to hear from you. Email me, you can comment, you can text me, you can WhatsApp me, you can DM me, and let me know how your transformation is going. I look forward to seeing you during the year, and hoping and wishing you all the very best for you and your family. Take care now.